314.
Good evening.
Hi,
Good evening, Judge. How
Bianchi.
you doing?
Oh, what's going on, astute engineer, contractor, and wise man? How are you, sir? Bianchi.
I'm Pianki. You know what helped me
That-
to become wise as I am?
Who
Is a
said you were
is a
wise?
little is a little
I did.
man. It's a little, it's a little bald headed man, and I got his products all over the house up against the wall. People thought it was wallpaper.
What? I didn't get
So,
the joke. That was corny.
In other words, he's talking about
no
me.
Judge Brown BBQ barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
It's stacked
he
up
likes the
labels
sauce.
against the wall. People think it's wallpaper. You don't have none?
Yes, she has some. Yes, she does. You know who Bianchi is, don't you?
I know who he is, but I'm trying to get the joke. It's like usually he come in and he talk about the topics, but he's trying to be a comedian. And Tianki, I'm sorry, you're falling flat, honey.
It's not a joke. I do have his products. I'm telling the truth.
Well, thank you for
You want
bringing
me to
up his
put my
products
hand
because
on the Bible?
I have his banner up, Judge Joe Brown barbecue sauce. Go to jjbbbq.com and buy y'all some barbecue sauce, y'all. Yeah.
No, he called me a wise man. I told him the reason why, and then it went on to another point.
Oh, the reason why you're wise is
Anyway,
because of the barbecue sauce.
no, him.
Oh, okay.
You
I
wasn't paying
called him
attention, was
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Monkey, do you
yeah.
want to talk about anything that we talked about today? The question of the topic is Republicans need black voters to maintain power.
Black voters will gravitate and should have been for a long time gravitating to that party that has platforms and issues that subscribe to their interests. Let me name them to you. Married couples should gravitate to them because they increase the standardized deduction by double from $12,000 to $24,000. For those who don't know what that means, that when you're filing your taxes jointly, married and jointly, well, you get to deduct $24,000 off of your income before they start taxing anything. In other words, that's untaxable. That's a good thing. It's putting more money in the pot. Republicans are for school choice. Or should I say the platform that Donald Trump had. They for school choice where you have the probability of putting your child in the environment that you want to. And this is what's good for those who are coming from marginalized family. The money spent in a traditional school will follow the child to whatever environment that you want them to learn in. That's a good thing. Of course, you got the border protection. That's a good thing. I don't know what's going to happen to all these people that's in this country. And you know another thing too, these illegals can be counted toward apportionment. Apportionment means when you go to create another congressional district, well, they count those in the minimum number of people that's required. I think it's 66,000, but I'm not sure. So it's things like that. It's platforms like that, issues like that, that once you get to a certain educational level, which is going to equate to your equity income, then you start looking at those things more closely. There's no better feeling like being able to keep your money in your pocket rather than going to taxes. And another thing that I'm looking at and working here where I am, I'm working with a movement called the Convention of States. We got 20 states signed on that's going to utilize Article 5 of the United States Constitution. And basically what they're going to do is reel in the federal government because it has gotten too out of control. And two areas is term limits and also the debt. This debt is going to be kicked down the road, and your grandchildren's grandchildren is going to be faced with it. In other words, when that child is born, he or she already has a debt on their head that they shouldn't have. That's just two things.
Okay. Are you a Republican, Independent, Democrat?
I'm not an independent. I am a conservative. I vote for some conservative issues like the many I just got through telling
So
you.
you vote Republican?
I, generally, because more of those issues come out of their platform.
Right. Okay. And do you think that if more Black people vote Republican, that will help save the Republican Party to maintain and gain power? Yes or
I
no?
don't think that I don't do if more Black people join. Well, if Black people feel a need that these platforms and these issues suit them, Black people, Asians, whoever, then they will gravitate like you see Latinos and Hispanics doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's
But
about.
if more Black
Here's
people
another
vote
thing.
Republican, will that help save the Republican Party to gain power? Yes or no?
In their areas first, yes. If that's what the center point is, I'm in a red state.
Okay, I see what
I
you're saying.
came from a red state, generally. Only thing is, those cities are blue. And just look at them. You can't say to those people in those cities, St. Louis, Southside Chicago, you can't say they got power.
Right.
One thing that's an indication of power is the type of assets that you have, the type of educational system that your child goes to, the safety for you to transfer from one side of town to the other.
Being a homeowner.
Being a homeowner, that's your asset.
Yeah.
Not to have all of a sudden the demographics in your neighborhood change, and then down goes your home value.
If majority of people, let's say a Black neighborhood, if majority of those Black people in that Black neighborhood own their own homes, that is power, because you get to dictate your education funding, where that goes and how much, and you have more say so as opposed to being a renter or on welfare. So yeah.
Well, the laws is written not based on homeowners. The laws is written on people that live in the district. In Missouri, the statute said that the school district and district equates to the people. And it says that the school district says that the outcome and the direction of the curriculum, textbook, and instructional material is based on what the district wants. But for some reason or another, and I know what the reason is, and it's a contendum, is that the people don't understand this power that they have. And then when you go try to make the change, you have these gatekeeping organizations, and the people that reside in these gatekeeping organizations would tell you that Blacks don't know what to do with that power. We are better served to make the changes than they are. Now, some people may think that what I just said is outlandish, but I can let you listen to it come from the horse's mouth. Mm-hmm. It's all over the place. Now they're bringing out, what is his name? Dyson, Eric Dyson. He's coming out now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These people.
What's he coming out?
For 40.
What's he coming out? Bianchi, what is he coming out doing now?
He's coming out talking up in behalf of the news media against the things that they think or want to make people perceive is bad for them. That's coming out of the Republican Party.
Oh, he's a shill. I just debated him last week. Miss Dana was there, and he was running that DNC campaign rhetoric about men are toxic and need to get out of the way and all of this other thing, and the whole 9 yards of that Democratic thing. So it's not surprising that he's doing that now. He's a shill. That's what his game is.
You got that other one, Roland Martin. Everything that comes out of his mouth is centered around race, white supremacy, and the Black victimhood.
Real quick, speaking of Roland Martin, I went to Tariq Nasheed Instagram. Here go Roland Martin, coon ass on Twitter talking about something. Guess what you not gonna get with Brian Kemp as governor at Tariq Nasheed? Reparations. But you are basking in his victory as if your cause is actually helped. You simple Simons play yourselves every time. And because Tariq Nasheed put Roland Martin looking at these elections results, and you put like a little raccoon Yeah, I love when
That's from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of those Marvel things. This one can talk.
so but and that's and
I see where
Roland gets so upset when Tyreek go in on him. But the thing is, Roland Martin, it's not about him being pro reparations. It's not that. Who cares? Your girl, Stacey Abrams, didn't even utter the words either. So what are you talking about? She's not pro reparations either. So the fact is that it's not about if a governor is reparations or not. It's really about if Black people saying this is what we demand. See, no one is not going to give us anything. It's what we demand, an agenda, presenting, being organized and presenting to these politicians. This is what we want. And if you don't give it to us, we're not going to vote for you. We're going to vote for somebody else or put somebody else in office who's going to give us what we want, what we need, or whatever. You have to organize. So it's not about,
what about the Black people that don't want that?
Don't want what? Reparations?
What you just got to
Just be quiet.
Yes.
Just be quiet.
No, they're not gonna be quiet because they'll be coming out of their pocket.
Be quiet.
The ones that want it to be quiet because it's been tried.
I'm telling you to be quiet when it comes to reparations, because the first thing come out your mouth was, well, I don't want to be quiet because it's coming out my pocket. No, it's not coming out your pocket. See, the people who don't want reparations, y'all don't even know how it's going to be allocated. It has nothing to do with you paying more taxes.
Have you read the transcript of a Seventh Circuit Court decision with
to do reparations?
Well, what is it? What is it? Just curious. Go ahead.
It's the court case that Thelma Pellman and brought against. They started it out in California, and then it was a class action suit. The judge out there in that federal court, he combined it.
Ninth Circuit. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, then he brought it to Chicago, I believe the state was, and they argued it there. And the judge dismissed it for prejudice, where you can bring it up again if you want to. But that's when you had the insurance company and the railroad were being brought to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
See, these reparations,
I've
been following. I used to be a member of Cobra.
Somebody asked you, ask him what is his highest education. Somebody wants to know what's your highest education.
If you go to St. Louis, you can see the bridges, skyscrapers, parks, and stuff that he's designed and built. He laid out half of downtown St. Louis.
No,
more than a college degree.
I'm an architect. I was a structural steel erector. I put up high-rise buildings like the ones that fell down.
You have a specialty and a degree, yeah. So he's educated. He's college educated, which has nothing to do with this conversation. But the thing is, why are you not complaining about the reparations, since you claim that coming out of our tax, but you ain't complaining about the reparations that we are continuing to pay to the Jewish people to this day? You're not complaining about the reparations for the natives. You're not complaining about the reparations for the Asians, i.e. the Chinese or the Japanese. So why are you always complaining about Black people getting reparations?
Well, here's the thing. People can easily say those things out their mouth, but let's give me some details.
Why are you not complaining?
I don't know where
the reparations for the Jewish people here in America.
Where is it at? Where did they get it from? Where?
They're getting it from the state and New York
Where?
Hold up, New York State, baby. New York State just gave the Orthodox Jewish community $1 billion for their education system. Also, it was a Jewish organization in New York State that they're getting more money via reparations for the Holocaust. And that's just on a state level. So, yeah.
Okay. The point is that Bianchi's, Miss Dana, Brother Bianchi's making the point that you do pay for those things because New York is taxing you, and their tax assessments pay for those things.
Why isn't he complaining about the reparations for the other groups? Why are you not complaining about the money that we're sending to Ukraine for the Ukrainians?
If you let me say, there's one thing about some people, they don't want others to be able to put the point out to counter what they just made.
I didn't ask you a question with that.
Well, one thing, I don't live in New York.
It doesn't matter, sir. Why are you not complaining?
It does. That's a state level.
But so is reparations.
It's not the federal government. Federal government The federal government
So
has
is
not. The
reparations for
federal
Black
government has
people.
not paid. The federal government has not paid any money toward what happened in Germany.
Yes, they have.
It,
They paid
where?
under Obama and
Where? Give me the
under
name.
Bush.
Where did
Go to
Congress
the White
approve that
House.
money?
Go to the White
Yeah.
House
the-
and you go in the search section
Where did
and then
Congress?
you type
Give me the
in.
name of
you
the
type
HR
in-
that
wait,
Congress
wait.
passed
Go
to
to the White
approve
House.
that.
Go to the whitehouse.gov
I'm not going.
and
You
type
the
in
one making the
Jewish
claim. They making the
Holocaust.
claim.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Here's the thing. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me.
Let me
The
say
law
this
very quickly on the law.
one thing. No, let me say this one thing, because you are complaining about reparations for Black people. You just said, "Well, I don't live in New York." Okay, so then if New York passed legislation, wait. If New York passed legislation for Black people to receive reparations, what are you complaining about anyway if you don't live in any of these other states that may give it? You don't live in California.
Because
you don't live in New York.
I gave
So
you
then why are you
cases in federal court that was talking about the United States government.
Reparations is not just federal, it's a state level. So if you don't live in
Well,
that
then
listen,
if it's the state level, and the state Supreme Court, why can't it pass it?
You said I don't want to have to pay more taxes for reparations for Black people, and I'm telling you, you won't. And then I'm also asking you, why are you not complaining about the other groups that receiving reparations? Your answer, sir,
Like
was
who, the Asians? Like who, the Japanese?
Why are you complaining
like the Japanese
people? Because you don't live in these states.
Ma'am, you don't say that 5 times. The first time it came across.
My Bianchi, do not bring heat to Black people if your ass is not going to bring heat to other groups.
I bring whatever I feel like it. You know why? Because I'm man enough.
Shut down.
I'm man enough to bring the heat.
But you sound
instead
ignorant.
of you running off and keep talking, repeating things over and over, and you probably cut me off like they always do. I'll talk about this on Judge's show tomorrow where we have listeners and we can speak our mind.
And I will call in and I will read.
And we will.
Yeah, they call it the Hunger Games situation. Now,
what pretensions did the Japanese receive reparations?
What?
What was the argument behind
justification
receiving reparations?
What was the argument?
They got reparations.
The justification.
Due process. As citizens of the United States, they would deny their quantitative due process as spelled out. I believe it's in the 4th Amendment, not the 14th. The 14th applies to procedure due process. That's why they got reparations.
Okay. Did you pay for it?
Now tell me where a slave, a U.S. citizen slave, was supposed to be afforded due process. They weren't even citizens.
And then we became citizens.
When did the slaves become citizens? With the passage
the 13th Amendment
of the 14th Amendment.
14th Amendment.
You can't pass a law today and go back 100 years and apply it to somebody.
Yes, you can.
Grandfather. That's why we don't learn anything. Because we don't listen.
Why?
You're right. They just reparations. You're right.
Why is it that a Jewish child who was born today and their lineage could be traced back to the Holocaust, they will receive reparations or restitution? It's called lineage.
Who's giving it to them? Who's giving it to them?
Germany? Federal. Okay, United States, France, Germany.
United States don't give no Jews from the Holocaust that didn't happen on American soil any money. All right.
Look. Hold on, people. What is being confused here is the rhetoric from the Obama presidency about what he wanted done. The reparations that he's trying to lay a claim to, meaning Obama, would have had to have come from the Congress. That would be an Enablement and Appropriations Act. Now, was such an act passed? No, executive order. You can't spend money if you have not had the discretion given to you to spend it. Okay. See, that's where a lot of things go in. Presidential candidates and presidents claim to do stuff that the Constitution doesn't give them power to do. That's where the confusion comes in, and the
But why
media
is
runs
this
with it.
man sitting on his phone, confused, thinking that Jewish people here in America have not received reparations here, and from American government via the Holocaust? They have, not just on a state
They have
level,
not.
but they have been compensated on a federal level as
You saying
well.
Sammy
Go
Davis
do your
Jr.
research.
received some money.
Go do your research.
Sammy Davis Jr. received some money. Goldberg received some money.
Wait. If the lineage goes back to the Holocaust, it's about your lineage.
Well, Sammy
What-
Davis
Okay,
converted
think about
because
it.
he wanted to match with his
You
wife.
think he
Name me a person.
just want to get
Name
reparations?
me in a person.
Oh,
Name me a person in your lineage that gave you the authority to adjudicate for them 40 or 100 years later. Which one?
what are you talking about?
Which
Which one?
person in your lineage gave you the
My
authority to adjudicate?
great grandfather, grandmother. So what are you talking about?
Where's the paperwork?
Paperwork.
Where's the paperwork?
Oh, stupid.
And
And
what-
I'm
and
use
what-
that
and
word.
what-
And it's
to them.
for you, stupid. You really do.
No, what he's talking about is the
What was the
Tianki,
wait, people.
I'm disappointed.
People, what the problem is this.
I got people that's very satisfied. What was
Look,
what was the
Judge, you're
what was
telling
the
me
harm that was done?
that my ancestor that was in slavery, they supposed to have written a fucking paper talking about something.
Slavery was not illegal. Lady?
I want my descendants to get reparations if we ever get. You sound dumb.
How you don't get reparations for
All right,
something
so
that
go, you know
wasn't
what?
illegal?
Hang up, and go do some research on how. Go to
I don't have to.
wait, go to ADOS101.com. Go to ADOS101.com and then tell you how. Go.
here's what the big problem is. Or
okay. Type in HR.
People. Here's what the big problem is under American law. The cause of action essentially dies with the person who's wrong, or perhaps his survivals if it amounts to a wrongful death. Everybody under those circumstances is now dead. So you'll have to create a new special circumstance with enablement and appropriations as an act of Congress or some state legislative body.
Thank you. Which is what they're doing in California. So,
but California's already admitted they can't do it because they're broke. They don't have the money.
They already set up the appropriations on how you determine who by lineage.
Yeah, but the point is technically, if I had not given up my residential status, I would have been entitled to it, and it ain't out.
Organize who gets it and how they get it. If you organize the paperwork, let me just keep it simple. If you have your paperwork in order, and if the state don't have the money, you can still take your paperwork to the federal government. However, whether it's state,
no, you can't.
Whether
not
it's
if
state
it.
or
No,
federal,
you can't.
So it still has to be passed via legislation.
I know, and it's only effective with the sovereign entity that passed the legislation. It's not binding on the whole country. Only if it comes out of Congress, United States. That's the only thing. There you go.
You have the last word.
Another thing with Tariq. He's getting bad because Stacey. Let me say this. You can elect a dozen Stacey Abrams. All she is a voice piece for the legislature. It's the state legislature. Those other members who are elected democratically to represent the people in that state, that's where, in fact, lies your power. Matter of fact, the states have the power over the federal government. Where do you think the federal government gets its powers from? It gets its powers from the states, those 50 countries that call themselves states conveniently. They are countries. It's be like you going down into Argentina and telling them, since the blacks in Argentina all of a sudden disappeared, they was assimilated, they disappeared. You're going to go down and tell them that you owe me reparations. Yeah, right. Go try it.
Tiangi, I think you need to stick to being an architect or engineer, whatever you are, and stick to building your buildings. Please stop talking about legislation and reparations and
I'm
the
not going to
separation of
insult you,
state and
I'm
federal.
because that don't go
Don't
no place.
talk about
What
the
I'm-
Constitution, because what you just broke down with the state is more powerful than the federal government and vice versa, whatever. You were completely inaccurate.
5.
Why don't you go read it? Go
Article 5
read the
of the US
Constitution.
Constitution.
Go read the Constitution. Why was the Constitution even created?
Well, here's the thing too that I find. Some of the things that come from black kids, the Constitution wasn't made for us. I said, who told you that?
Well, I don't say that.
I'm not talking about you.
But so now we're talking about black children?
No, he's making a point. Go ahead. I get you. This is what I would have to deal with sitting on the bench listening to arguments. Go ahead. Just quickly, but I get where you're going.
What do you think the point is? You telling me I should read the Constitution. Now you trying to put some substantiation.
I'm telling you to go. I'm telling you to go read the Constitution so you can have a better understanding.
Going on, you got people trying to talk at the same time. What did you do? Hit the gavel?
Understanding between the state and the federal. Because
here's the point,
the Constitution was written so that the government cannot intersect
if it is so
with the
carved in
state.
stone with you, why are you still complaining about it?
If what?
If it's so carved in stone, like you try to make it out to be, why are you continuing to complain about it?
You're upset that I even said the word reparations. You're upset, sir.
No,
I'm just trying to figure out why
you so upset. I used to be a lifetime member of Cobra. You know what Cobra is?
Yeah. And Cobra is the organization that couldn't get shit done. And my generation and younger are the ones keeping the fight for reparation going and actually seeing progress. Yeah, I'm familiar with Cobra.
We haven't gotten any progress yet. I've been here 3 times. I've been here 3 times in my life. And it's Cobra. It's got to go further.
My point is, we made more progress than in Cobra.
What you're doing now is begging.
Made more progress than in Cobra. That is a fact.
You ain't made no progress.
Have your
progress? What you doing is begging.
Set was in Cobra begging. Maybe that's why they ain't nowhere.
You are begging.
You are
begging.
Yes, you should have been begging.
You are begging.
Jews begging. Except for us, we're
begging. Yes. And there's another thing. There's no
progress than in Cobra.
There's no biological ethnic group called Jews.
You're a bunch of crooks. You sat there and you supported legislation that supported you personally to fatten your pockets. So my generation and younger, FBA, ADOS,
you know how you killing your generation. You know how you killing this generation?
No, you need to follow our lead because you're not gonna keep talking over me, honey. Because you talking about you from Cobra, that ended the whole debate right there. You done lost. My generation and younger, hashtag FBA, hashtag ADOS, we are more relevant than in Cobra. We made.
Hold on. Let me interject something. As senior person here, you know what the problem is? The most profound modern legislation that has impacted black folk, Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, Revised Civil Rights Act, and what preceded them was black folk burning down a lot of urban America. Nobody's done that since. Not saying that you should, but we have had no consequence delivered.
All right. So Tianka, you get the last word because I want to wrap up.
Where is the reparation for the Asian businesses that was burned down in the LA riot that was at the hands of many blacks?
All right, I'm about to hang up on you, Tianki. Goodbye.
That's all right. They always do.
I'll see you tomorrow,
Judge.
I'll see you tomorrow, Tianki, too. Because I'm calling.
All right. Let's continue the fight. The Hunger Games will continue.
Talking about
Judge Joe Brown and Valerie Denise. 929-477-1167. All right. We'll continue this tomorrow where I will referee. 929-477-1167.
Talking about
join in and watch
the reparations for the Chinese businesses that was burnt down by black people.
No. What he's saying is it's an analogy. See, sometimes when something's never happened in one way for a given person or circumstance, you look to see if it's got an analogy elsewhere. That's what he's doing. All right, I get it. But anyway,
all right, we need to wrap up. Let
nobody's
me just read this
advanced the
chat.
state of the situation now.
Thank you, Minister.
By the way, I bought a whole bunch of lottery tickets just the last 2 weeks, and I am for the lottery and I'm for reparations, but I don't count on either.
Minister Jab Network. Blessings to Auntie Dana. Salute to the judge. Heavy conversation. Loving it. Thank you so much. Just my 4 cents. Wow, a Black man not wanting reparations, but no problems with our tax dollars going to every other group that had issues with America. Well said, just my 4 cents. Exactly. Apply. We have enough claim for reparations with segregation alone. Absolutely. And today marks the day.
Yeah, but you know what the
in
big
Wilmington, North
equation,
Carolina.
you know what the big problem is? Everybody else has played the political game, so the people that they vote for do something about it. These colored folk that are called the Black/Colored Caucus haven't done a damn thing about it, but they have been surrogates for some other people that have all those colors that they sweep, broad strokes. And
yes.
yeah, now that's the problem. If you vote for somebody and you don't get crap out of it, that's your fault if you keep doing it after the first 1 or 2 times.